This video presentation is brought to you by Skip La Cour's Mass Machine Nutrition. Real physical development, real sports nutrition. Visit the Mass Machine Nutrition website today at www.massmachinenutrition.com. By House of Pain Ironwear. You can get all the workout clothing, Skip La Cour and Tyrus Reed wear at www.houseofpain.com. And by Natural Muscle Magazine. You can read the online version at www.naturalmuscle.net.
What's the next standard?
I arrive at the gym on time, ready to train both physically and mentally. It's easy because I get off work at 7:30. I'm here. The gym is 5 minutes away from my work. I leave work at 7:30. I get here by 7:40. Done. I'm here on time every day.
And when we talk about standards, we make them as black and white as we can. We either did it or we didn't. All right? And being on time, physically and mentally prepared, it's about a time management thing. When you make promises to yourself, like getting to the gym on time, it makes things a lot easier to follow through on the bigger promises. So I either showed up on time or I didn't. Black or white, yes. No gray area.
It's not a 5-minute window. It's 8 o'clock, black and white, done. 8 o'clock.
Okay, what's the next standard?
I knew what my goal was before every set. That goes to the little sheet of the piece of the packet of paper. I know my sets are that I need to get, and I'm studying over that. You know, sometimes at work, sometimes before Skip arrives at the gym, I'm looking over the sheet, and I know what I did each set, each rep, each weight, all that stuff.
And he does that before he even touches the weight. He knows what he's shooting for in terms of weight that he's going to lift on this particular set and how many reps he needs to beat before he even steps up to it. He's not going to get into the middle of it and say, wow, I should have had 5 more pounds on there, or, you know what, I think I can do 1 more. He knows that before he even touches the weight. All right. Now, he talks a lot about visualization. Tyrus talks about how he looked at it at work before he got to the gym. To you, this might say, wow, this is so tedious. Boy, this is so meticulous. Boy, too much detail. It's not that important. Let me tell you something, all right? This is the mindset that champions who've been training for 20 years, who have 6 national championships and more, this is what they do. All right, so if you've been training for a year, you've been training for 2 years, and you want to know how to leapfrog and have the mindset of a champion who's been doing it for 20 years, then you want to do things that may seem too detailed or too complicated. Do them now. All right, because 6 months from now, 2 years from now, it's going to be easy for you. What's hard now will become easy later, and it's going to leapfrog you. It's going to shave so much time, and you're going to get up to that mindset of a champion in 20 years. These are the strategies that work. These are the strategies of a winner and a champion. I'm giving them to Tyrus at his young age of 23 with 5 years of training. He's going to be able to leapfrog. And you are getting that same opportunity. So it may sound counterintuitive, it may sound too detailed, do it anyway. What's the next standard?
After every set, I stop for a moment, close my eyes, and make sure I hit the targeted muscle group with as close to 100% efficiency as possible. After every set, I go back, I'm still trying, so I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even doing it yet. It's a hard thing for me to remember. After every set, I have to go and sit there and think. Physically think. Okay, did I hit that bicep good? Did I hit that back? Did I get that targeted muscle right? If not, the next set, do it again and really focus on what you're doing. Don't sit there and think about the girl walking by you behind you. Think about, okay, I'm going to squeeze, I'm going to get that muscle targeted. That's what I'm still trying to do now. After every set, I'm not doing that yet, and he keeps calling me on it. After every set, I got to sit there, stop, and think. And so I'm still working on that myself, but get on it.
And that's a champion mindset technique, all right? And here's the thing about standards. You don't want to create a list of standards that the first day you can get a 10 out of 10 with no challenge at all. If you can do that, then the standard's too low. So there's going to be things that are black and white. I can do it if I just set my mind to. They might come very easily to you, and they'll get you where you want to go. And there's some that you're going to take practice on. Hitting the targeted muscle group, closing your eyes for a second, it takes practice, it takes exercise. First of all, it's something that you're not used to doing, so number one, he's going to have to get used to doing it first of all right? That's step 1. After every set, remembering every workout. Step 2 is getting better and closing your eyes and actually feeling the bicep if we're doing bicep exercise, or like you talked about, back exercise or chest exercise. So you don't need to hit your standard a 10 out of 10 every time. In fact, if you can do it from the first day, then it may be too easy. So it's okay to be challenged. You said it's hard, but it's challenging. We want challenges. Challenges make this journey rewarding. So it's okay. Just keep on keeping on, keep on plugging away.
I did not do any unnecessary talking once I started my workout, other than to talk about specific exercise execution or champion mindset observations. I haven't. He kind of has a few times. But no, I mean, I haven't, I try not to talk at all, really, because, both of us try to talk at all because there's nothing really to talk about other than what's directly related to what we're doing. Obviously, he's famous here, so you got people, coming up in the gym, hey, Skip, let me ask you a question. That's to be expected, and you can't really stop that. You can't just push away somebody, hey, back up, but that's not a big deal. I mean, it only takes a couple minutes. I'm either resting or trying to recover still, so it hasn't messed me up yet, so it's not a big a deal. But
right, and it's a standard. So the thing is that you don't want to get distracted with conversations. All right, you want to stay on point. And once we made this a goal, everything started eliminating itself. So there might be a couple disruptions, but the moment we set a goal, boom. Magically, people don't come up to us and talk as much anymore. And the more focus we get because we made this standard, you'll see them eliminating. Our workouts got shorter, everything got more efficient. Because that talk that has nothing to do with our training. Okay, we can talk about exercise execution, and we can talk about champion mindset inside and outside of the gym. That's acceptable. But no talking about anything else going on in the gym that has nothing related. And again, then once we set that standard, it got eliminated 90%. Just because we set the standard.
Yeah, the next one was I completed my workout in an hour or less. There you go, 40 minutes today. This whole week we were only over by a minute, 2 minutes, so we still have to work on some things, but it's progress. Before it's hour 15, hour and a half sometimes, but we've got it down a minute and 2, a minute and 3, a minute 1.
And that's just because we set a standard. That's the power of setting standards. All right, once you set it down, you're going to do everything. That champion inside of you is going to do everything to commit to the standards you set. So I'm going to make Tyrus's standards available for you to download so you can compare. Hey, I suggest, we've gone through weeks of this. I've been preparing him mentally, emotionally for weeks, and this is what he's come up with. Here's a great idea. Instead of you trying to reinvent the wheel, just download Tyrus's standards and you start working towards those too. One thing is creating standards, and then the other thing is to evaluate how well you did. One thing that I do with Tyrus, we create these standards at the beginning of this week, his higher standards, and I'll just go through all 10 of these before we even start the workout.
Before and after.
All right, and then right afterwards, right after we evaluate this. So instead of doing the workout, the evaluation for the workout itself, I'm going to ask you, we're at the end of our training week, and I just want you to give me a number between 1 or 10. No explanation, okay? Just the first thing that pops in your mind. 10 means I'm on it, there is no room for improvement, I am amazing at this for where I am right now. Or 1, not too good, I got a lot of improvement. So a scale from 1 to 10, I'm just going to go down this list for the week. All right? Just give me a number. So number 1, I ate the right foods, the right amounts, and ate my meals on time so that I had the strength to train hard and recover fully from my workout.
8.
2, I was well rested enough to have 100% of my physical energy to devote to my training session.
9.
Number 3, I have managed my personal affairs and my work life well enough so that I gave 100% of my mental focus and emotional energy into my training session.
8.
I visualized my entire workout, every exercise that I'll do that day on my drive to the gym.
10.
Number 5, I knew how much weight and how many reps I must do to beat last week's performance before I even stepped into the gym.
8.
Number 6, I arrived to the gym on time, ready to train both physically and mentally.
9.
Number 7, I knew what my goal was before every set.
7.
Number 8, after every set, I stopped for a moment, closed my eyes, and made sure I hit this targeted muscle group with as close to 100% efficiency as possible.
6.
All right. Number 9, I did not do any unnecessary talking once I started my workout, other than to talk about specific exercise execution or champion mindset observations.
10.
And then number 10, I completed my workout in 1 hour or less.
9.
Okay? All right, so there we go. now we know what to do. So from this point forward, for the next 30 weeks and more, Tyrus knows exactly what he needs to do. There's a scorecard. There's a blueprint to make sure he hits every single session. All right? And so this isn't about a feel. Oh, I trained hard. Oh, I ate right. I'm working hard towards my goal. He knows exactly what it is, and he can measure it before his workout, after his week, to make sure he's on course. So you do the same. You set the standards, take the time to really go through it, make sure that they are standards to get you where you really want to go, and then make sure you review them often to make sure you're on track so there's no guesswork during this whole process.
Take your bodybuilding and training efforts to the next level. Visit my skiplacour.com website and invest in my DVDs, ebooks, and audio seminar courses. This video presentation is brought to you by Skip La Cour's Mass Machine Nutrition. Real physical development, real sports nutrition. Visit the Mass Machine Nutrition website today at www.massmachinenutrition.com. Follow this Mass Machine Nutrition website as I outline, explain, and coach 23-year-old natural bodybuilder Tyrus Reed, my Mass Machine training program. It's a physical, mental, emotional, and psychological approach to bodybuilding and training.